Hello, you're watching Down the Road with Brian Mallard.
Give me that. Hey everyone, you're watching Sidestep Adventures. I'm out here today with Brian, Cody, and Omar. Actually, a lot of people have been asking where Brian and Cody are at. They're here with us today. So we're going to go on a dirt road adventure today. Going to be a lot of fun. Let's get started. All right, so we're coming down this road and I spotted this old growth tree right there, and there's some other cedar trees. There's a very old cedar right there as well. So I wanted to get up in here and look and see what's up here, maybe a cemetery or something. All right, so already just stepping off in the woods, I gotta pat myself on the back a little bit. I guess I'm getting a pretty good eye for this sort of thing. You can see right there's a fieldstone retaining wall. So this might be the side of the cemetery, or a cemetery, I should say. Or it could be an old home site too. Oh look, there's a brick right there. We'll place that back there just in case it's marking somebody. There's some more field stones right there. There's an old wash basin. This may be a home site. So I don't see any indentions in the ground or anything like that. It's clearly marked as a grave. There's more field stones piled up here. So that could be a chimney pile, because I think that might be a chimney pile if you look at the way they're kind of stacked but fallen over. So we're probably walking where somebody's house was right now. There's another pile right there. Just fieldstone. Oh wow, guys, check this out. This is one of the dangers of doing something like this if you're not carefully watching your surroundings. This is an open well right here. Kind of nervously look over into it. Hey, you know what? Hey Omar,
Yeah,
grab my magnet and flashlight out of the car.
Alright, I'll be back. I got the light you were asking for, your magnet.
Cool. Let me see the light first. I'll shine the light down and take a look down this well. Be careful not to fall in. I think, oh wow, that is deep. I don't know if you guys can see it that well.
Oh. Damn.
And you can actually see the hole where the spring used to flow through in the bottom. It's dried up now, but that's pretty neat. Drop the drop the magnet down in there. Oh, look at that. I don't know if you guys can see the magnet down there or not, but it's a long ways down.
Is it stuck? Did it reach the bottom already?
Yeah, it's on the bottom. Kind of let it go back down.
Yeah.
Just kind of bounce it around on the bottom.
Okay.
because I can see it, so probably see if anything gets stuck on it. I just sank down in the mud down there. You want to use the rope and crawl down in there?
Yeah, tie me up.
Man, just think about all the work it would have taken to dig this well back
Imagine
then.
if we could find the ladder that they used.
Oh, I know, right? You know, I think that, look at the side right here.
Mm-hmm.
You see there's indentions on the side? That's probably what they used to climb back out. You know, as they were digging it down. Let's bring it up and see if anything stuck to it.
It's going to take a couple minutes.
Yeah. It's a pity coins aren't magnetic. All the old currency but they wouldn't have done that back then. Nothing. Oh well. Anything that's in there is probably under so many leaves and dirt, but it's worth a try.
One more time.
Yeah, go ahead.
This time I'm just going, it's going to free fall.
Yeah, let me see it real quick. I wanna. Oh, it's hitting something down there, probably a rock, but
It's kind of nerve-wracking standing near this, like looking in.
oh yeah,
Like,
it is.
I'm gonna fall down.
Right?
Yeah, it's just like, let me take a few more steps back.
Yeah, I hear you. I feel the same way. Especially now that you said that. Now I'm gonna step back. Oh, nothing. But you know what? Just imagine just running through the woods or something, you know, and you just go straight in there and...
I think you wouldn't make it. You'd probably break both legs and someone finding you out here.
Oh yeah.
You're a goner.
Yep. Can you imagine, you know, now that we know that this is a home site and, you know, it's just trees.
Just imagine how it looked back in the day, like kids would go outside and play, or
right, exactly.
You know, it was all clear, but it's crazy. Just
it
to
is.
Imagine how it would look like.
It really is.
Don't play like that.
All right, guys, so this is a place we just spotted up here in the woods, and I wanted to show you guys real quick. We actually just left an old home site, and I was kind of looking for a place like this, expecting to see one, and then just stumbled upon it. It's a very old cemetery and very large cemetery. We're going to take a look at these right now, but before I do, just going to pan around. There's 2 box crypts right there made out of field stone, and just all sorts of unmarked graves out here through the woods. But let's take a look at these 2 graves real quick. These are the only 2 that appear to be marked. Get my flashlight ready here. So this one is in memory of Sarah J., wife of Captain W.M. Reedy. Died March 13th, 1872, aged 73 years. And over here we have Captain William Reedy, born in Chester County, South Carolina, November 4th, 1792. Died in Harris County, Georgia, February 17th, 1883. And so those are the only two that are marked. And I've got a suspicion that this may be a cemetery that my buddy Dan told me about. He told me about one up in this area that was very early settlers of this county. And we're actually supposed to go out to it together. So you may see this cemetery again with a lot more information from Dan in the future. But not knowing anything, just finding it, today we'll just take a quick look at it. You can see there's lots of graves out here. There's fieldstone markings and an indention in the ground. You can see right here. Here's another fenced in area made out of fieldstone, but there's no headstone or otherwise marked.
At least not now.
But as we just kind of walk out through these woods, you can see there's an indention right there. There's more field stones over here, and another indention right there. But lots and lots of graves. Of course, the ones we first saw are right there. There's the box tombs all around it, and you can just see it just kind of goes out. We'll walk to the end of it so you can kind of get a perspective of how far out it goes. Actually, that may have been the end of it we were just at, so it may end right there. But there's another one that I wanted to show you that I saw when we first got out of the car. There's a couple graves that are literally just here on the edge of the road. I think there's one right there, and that looks like a grave marking right there. That one definitely is. Let's take a look at it real quick. It's just a field stone, but I wanted to make sure there was nothing engraved in it, because sometimes they did make some kind of marking or engraving in these. But and you can see it's just right here on the bank of the road. So I'm honestly surprised that none of these graves have washed out.
Shows you how much it's eroded over the years. There's no telling how far out it went to begin with. Look at this moss. It's really soft, kind of sticky at the same time. And there's a rock here. That's a fieldstone. I wonder if that was from a grave.
Could have been. There's another one right there. So it's hard to say. It's hard to say sometimes.
There's one end. I bet the other end was here.
It could be. There's one accidentally just backed over right there too. And it's sometimes hard to say whether these are just, fieldstones, just naturally occurring rocks. Although when you've got one that's sticking straight up and down like that, it's not. But something like that, it's kind of hard to say. It's also hard to say if people haven't moved these over the years. But when you see the definite indentions in the ground, like over there, it's most definitely a grave. But I just wanted to make a quick visit here, check this place out and show it to you guys. Like I said, if this is the place that my friend Dan was talking about, we'll be back here with more history. He's got a wealth of knowledge of this area, and I always enjoyed going out with him, and that should happen in the next couple of weeks. The cemetery also goes all the way out that way. You can see more graves. But for now, we're going to get back on the road. Oh yeah, that wasn't one. It's just a hunt camp now, but if you look through the trees, you probably can't see it on the camera. But there was an old fieldstone chimney out there.
Wow.
So I just saw this and I want to show it to you guys. I don't know that it's a fact that that's what this tree is, but if you see, this is a bent tree right here. It grows up right there, goes up, and then goes up that way. And this could be natural, but this is also what Native Americans use to mark trails and that sort of thing. And so it could be, and the tree looks small for being a what would be a 200-year-old tree, because most of the Native Americans were removed from this area by the 1830s, I mean. But it could very well be just a stunted tree. But we'll take a pretty close look at it. And if you don't know what a bent tree is, just Google it, Native American bent trees. It's really fascinating. And the ones that I've seen aren't always extremely old, or well, aren't always extremely big like you would think a very old tree would be, because they would get stunted like this. But let me clear that off the tree and just show it to you, because the stump there is pretty large. You see, the stump is pretty large, and it grows up and makes that perfect bend there and perfect bend there. And again, I can't say for a fact that this isn't just natural, but this could very well be a Native American bent tree. Let me know what you guys think if you're familiar with the subject. I think it's pretty interesting, for sure. And it goes along this road, which this is a very, very, very old road that we're on right now, and it actually points down the direction of the road where my my friends are standing and looking at their feet right now.
Looking for arrowheads.
I knew it. I knew that's what it was. You mentioned Native Americans, and immediately the noses look at the feet and for artifacts. If y'all find anything, you'll have to give it to me. But anyway, I thought this was a pretty cool tree. I want to show it to you guys, get your thoughts on it. And while my initial reaction to this tree is it doesn't look like it would be old enough to be a Native American bent tree, you've got to think that you see home sites from the 1860s that still have the same trees growing there and around the sites, and that's how you spot the sites. And this would be at the earliest only 20 years or 40 years, sorry, before that. So you never know, and it's really interesting. This is actually the only second bent tree that I've seen that I think is a Native American trail marking tree, where there's probability.
Even if it wasn't done by Native Americans, it could have very well been done by an early settler who knew the technique.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it could be 200 years old. I mean, from the road, I only saw this part, but that's, yeah.
Yeah, as you get down at the stump is huge.
Yeah.
And you've got to think, I mean, when a tree is bent like this, natural or not, it's going to be stunted. But
Yeah.
that's really cool, and it's kind of a mystery. I don't know for a fact that that's what it is, but so they would tie them up that way, tie them with the bend, and just let the tree grow up that way, so it would become a trail marker tree. And I think that's just so cool. It really fascinates me if that is what it is.
I think this is pottery.
Oh wow, let me see it. So that's pretty cool. Right beside this bent tree, Cody just found this on the side of the road. And it could be something newer, but that's glazed right there like pottery. It could have been from an early settler out here though, because these woods, which are now quiet pulpwood and hunting land, but long ago they were filled with settlers and farmers. So it's hard to say whether this would be a Native American piece of pottery or just an early settler's pottery, but that's really cool.
Hey Robert, you think this is from the Indian era?
I think it is.
It looks like I don't know, maybe they used it for their plumbing and their teepees.
I tell you, yeah, I was going to ask you to identify what kind of artifact that was, but I think you just did.
Or the brake lines for the buggies, maybe.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know what? You could probably use that on your Beetle
Yeah, probably.
as a brake line.
Yeah, so I'm gonna keep it though.
So, you know, as you drive through here, all you see are woods, and, you know, it doesn't look like there's ever been any human activity out here except for pulpwooding and logging and that sort of thing. But if you know, obviously we've seen the old cemetery and the old house site, but this was all very, very different. You know, the land was cleared. This was farmland. There were multiple home sites out here. I actually met a local the other week, and he told me about this area. And he said that he's walked through the woods and found terraced land and where they would grow cotton and other crops, and plenty of old home sites out through here. And I just think that's really interesting because it doesn't look like you would see that out here. And what ended the farming out here at these hills was actually the boll weevil. When the boll weevil came and destroyed all of the crops, this farmland sold for pennies on the dollar of what it was worth, and has been basically pulpwooding land ever since. All right, guys and gals, this is going to be our last stop of the day. If you look up through these trees, let me see if I can get it where you guys can actually see it. There's an old chimney up here, and you may recognize it because it's one that we've actually visited before. But when I was talking to a local about this area, he told me that there's actually a cemetery behind this chimney that I didn't see before. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to check that out today because, as you can see, this is just absolutely filled up with briars, and who knows what else is in there. But that's going to be a video that's coming soon. I just kind of wanted to stop here and look around real quick. You know, I wonder if that's it back there. There's a clump of trees.
I bet it is.
Just going to have to wait until it gets winter and everything dies off to be able to see. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed today's exploration. It was a lot of fun to get out on those dirt roads and back roads and explore a lot of it. We found some pretty cool places. A lot of it, did I say that? Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed today's adventure. It was a lot of fun to get out on those dirt roads and back roads, and we found some pretty cool stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. It was a lot of fun having Omar around with us. He's got his new YouTube channel he just started where he restores his vintage Volkswagens. As you guys probably already know, I run a vintage Volkswagen shop, and that's actually where Omar is working on his Beetle right now. So you might see me in his videos. So make sure you go subscribe to his channel, and don't forget to subscribe to Down the Road with Brian Mallard as well. He's got some really cool stuff, and he puts a lot of heart into his videos with narration and everything.
More coming soon.
Alright guys, we got a little challenge for you guys. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, me and Brian. So I think we could do it in a month's time. Robert said he's going to give some stuff away if we can do that. I'll give away some t-shirts as well here in the coming future. So just stay tuned, and we'll be here filming more adventures.
Absolutely. So you heard it, guys. Get over there and subscribe to Brian and Omar's channel. Let's get them up to at least 1,000 subscribers. Omar's got some t-shirts to give away. I've got some stuff I'll give away after that. So get on it. We will see you guys on the next adventure.
And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Thank you guys.